Alright, so we're back on the Danger Zone dev server for War Thunder. We are looking at the French Mirage Milan. Now, it's easy to get the wrong impression about a couple of things right up front. This is a premium fighter. It's going to be at 9.7. Now, disclaimer, of course, this is the dev server, and it's all subject to change. But if we take a quick look, we've got the full ballistics computer for all of our weapons. Now, interestingly, we've got the IDA 2 radar set, which in the game is just a simple radar gun sight rangefinder. And we've got the SPI, the sensor point of interest. Now, the sensor point of interest on this plane doesn't really end up doing much, because it looks like that ought to be a laser target designator, but it's not. It's nothing. In the game, the weapons we get are an AS-30 Nord, which is the manual command line of sight version of the Nord missile, not the AS-30L, so we do not have any laser-guided weapons. And the AIM-9B is our only option for an air-to-air weapon. So, at a quick glance, you might think this is going to be another top-end Mirage 3 derivative, that's going to have uncaged Seeker missiles and maybe some guided air-to-ground weapons. Well, only kinda. Our air-to-air weapon in this is only going to be the AIM-9B, it's the only one, and the AS-30 manual command line of sight air-to-ground missile. Now, it's better than nothing. It's not a bad weapon, and it's still got a 100-kilogram warhead. It's just important to know that you're not going to be getting a laser-guided weapon or anything with this. At least not yet. Disclaimers that this is the dev server. In addition, you can take, on the wing pylons, bombs and unguided rockets. Now, the unguided rockets are in this weird launcher grafted onto the front of the drop tank. And the bombs, of course, are on the extra pylons coming off of the drop tank, just like the Mirage 5. So it's kind of interesting. I'm going to modify this loadout a little bit. Whoop. And I'm going to switch that to taking the unguided rockets. Just making sure. Okay. Yeah, and you can see here what the loadout options are for each pylon. So we're going to take this out into an air battle and do a little bit of ground attack and see what we get. This is, no question, a dedicated ground attack version of the Mirage 3. Alright, so we're flying out in the Mirage Milan, and you're going to notice I've got some canards hanging off the nose there. That's kind of neat. So the canards are linked to the landing flaps right now. If you see, if I pull up those flaps, the canards retract. So they're not meant for air combat maneuverability. They're just there to improve the landing performance. I don't think that's going to be something that makes a difference in air combat, but as always, dev server, we'll see. So a couple of things to notice right up front. No radar warning receiver. No countermeasures. We're at 9.7, so neither of those is going to be really game-breaking, but it is a limitation. Also, again, no radar, only the radar rangefinder. We don't even get the Cyrano radar. And no laser rangefinder. No laser targeting. I guess that's just a gun camera. That sucks. Our air-to-ground weapon is the AS-30 Nord. That big, it's not going to let me. That big center-mounted chunky line air-to-ground missile. The AS-30 Nord is manual command line of sight guided. I'm really disappointed that this doesn't have the laser-guided AS-30L, but whatever. I'm personally not good with manual command line-of-sight missiles. But the good news with the AS-30 is that this thing has an absolutely ridiculous warhead. If you are using this in air battles and you get a good shot onto like one of those convoys of armored cars or something, like down there, you can sometimes get like, 2 to 4 kills with one shot with the Nord missile. I'm terrible at aiming this thing and guiding it in. So this is probably not going to get me, a really good high-performance shot. But I will at least try for you guys. See what we get here. Nothing. Yeah, I got bump kiss off that. But yeah, the AS-30, when you can get hits with it, the warhead is enormous. So that's not bad. Now, the air-to-air missiles, all we've got are the AIM-9Bs. That's it. It's a manual command line-of-sight weapon. I'm sorry. It's a caged seeker infrared weapon. The AIM-9B is not really great, but, it's one of those better-than-nothing sort of deals. And at 9.7, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get a better air-to-air missile than the AIM-9B, but I understand, even if I don't like it. Now, the Snub Rockets. The Snub Rockets are in those beehive rocket launchers on the front of the drop tanks. There's confirmation from the devs. I'll just fire off just to get rid of it. There's confirmation from the devs that they are working on drop tank functionality. However, it's obviously not in the game yet. And with these unguided rockets, once you're done with them, you still have these huge drop tanks hanging off your wings, gimping your flight performance. And those are going to be there if you take the unguided rockets or the bombs. So if you take the bombs on the wing stations, they're mounted to the drop tanks as well. So that's going to be something to know about. The Mirage Milan here is not going to be, a top-end dogfighter if you're taking these air-to-ground loadouts, similar to like the Mirage 5, or even maybe the Nesher. Now, I think that this still has a place in the game. I was thinking about this while I was sitting on the loading screen, and the overall role and weapons capacity and everything with this plane strikes me as being very similar at a first glance to the Étendard 4M. Except, of course, it's a premium vehicle, so it's going to get fairly substantial bonuses. I don't see this as being something that's going to dramatically change like the air combat meta or anything like that. But I see this being an option for French players who want a premium vehicle to grab to do close air support with. Maybe they're not really maining the French air tree, but they want, something to do close air support with at the higher tiers to complement their tank lineup. This is completely legitimate for that. It has the full ballistics computer for all of its weapons. And, the AS-30 does have a ridiculous warhead. It is effective in close air support, even if it's not laser guided. And I also think that with the premium bonuses and the ground pounding capability, this can be credible as a tech tree grinder. It's not going to go out and top the dogfight scores every mission with air kills or something, but I think that, the potential for grinding the tech tree is there, especially if you take the bombs and you're doing like the bomb tonnage on the strategic bases, or if you're better than I am with aiming the unguided air-to-ground rockets and the Nord. So it'll be interesting to see how that really develops. I think that overall, this will be a useful addition to the French air tree, even if it's not really going to redefine the game or anything like that. This is more filling a gap than it is, adding new dynamics anywhere. But as I mentioned before, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that when the Danger Zone update goes live, you'll be able to check out a full review on the French Milan as it gets implemented in the final patch. Regular disclaimer, of course, this is the dev server. Everything is subject to change. As always, thanks for watching.